my fellow readers. Today I'm going to do my quarterly review for my reading from the months of July through September. I'll go over how many books I've read during that period, and also, you know, how many books I've read so far this year, which is way more than I thought I was going to read this year, because I thought I was going to give myself a chance to breathe and not read, but I'm still reading at a very quick pace. I am glad that I've been able to read more light novels during this time. So I've gotten a lot of light novels read, and I feel good about that. I'm really having a good time reading the light novels and just experiencing the world of the light novels. There are some obviously I've liked more than others. In general, I like more shoujo titles more than shonen titles, although I did really like Sabikui Bisco. So, you know, who knows? Sometimes it varies, but overall, I think I had a pretty good time over the past couple months of reading, and I will also highlight my favorites. There's one in particular that I think is going to be my favorite book of the year, especially as the year is winding down. I think I've had like two top contenders for favorites this year, but I'm going to save that for a future video. For now, I'm going to let my behind the scenes self take over. So here we are looking at my 2022 reading log back again, and we can see that as I entered July, I finished my 347th book with The Drowned Woods by Emily Lloyd Jones. And let's see, that was a regular, was it? No, this should have been an arc. I can't tell. Yeah, probably just marked it off over here. I'm trying to remember if this was the one I really liked. Maybe I'll look on Goodreads. Followed by another arc, The Family Remains, which is now released, but yeah, it's the second book after The Family Upstairs, which I loved, by Lisa Jewell. So this would probably be one of my favorites. Also, I have to mention Thornhill, because I picked Thornhill up on a whim, like just bought it from Amazon, and I really liked this. It was told half through a written narrative and half through illustration, and it was really good. This is more middle grade, but would recommend that one. It has sort of spooky ghost story vibes, and really enjoyed it. So anyway, let's just go down. I'll just scroll through this list quickly, and then we'll head to Goodreads and I'll show like with the covers. But yeah, I feel like I read a lot of good books during this time period, and that makes me very happy. There's Blue Flag, which I reviewed. Loved that one so much. And I feel like I finished a lot of arcs too. This year I've done a lot of reading of advanced reader copies and a lot of reviewing, and I'm glad. I feel accomplished doing that. Yeah, look at all of August. We're only still in August. And then finally, we're coming through September, which brings us to the grand totals. And then I'll look at my nice covers to see. So, ended here with Volume 1 of Love is an Illusion by Fargo. This is a Korean webtoon that is now published here. You can get the print version if you don't want to read the webcomic. And that ends it at 544 books, which brings the quarterly total to 197 books read, and then of course 544 books read for the year, which is so much. I might have to do a video on like how I get through this many in a year. But then two, maybe the positives or negatives about such a thing. So for now though, let's hop over to Goodreads and I'll show cover-wise and highlight my favorites there, because I think it's easier for me to get the feel from the cover. Here we are in Goodreads, and we're starting here with The Drowned Woods. Again, I'll say these two were two of my favorites at this time. This one because it was the sequel to one of my favorite Lisa Jewell books of all time. The Family Upstairs. And this one because it was a surprise and a super quick read as well. So if you want a middle grade ghost story that's half imagery and half narrative, Thornhill, good choice. And we're just going to slowly scroll so you can see everything. I also did really love Daughter of the Moon Goddess. I thought this one was just a beautiful narrative. I enjoyed Paul Tremblay's The Pallbearers Club, which I had finished the arc of this as well, but it's now fully published. There's more manga and webtoons that I talked about, so I don't feel the need to focus too much on them. Oh, this is a book that I was forgetting. I never reviewed this Woven Kingdom. This was one of my LitJoy Crate books, but I never got around to reviewing it. I liked it. It's a well-told narrative. I didn't absolutely love it, but I did enjoy this one. I would recommend it to fantasy fans, teen fantasy. It's a good, solid read. There's another highly talked about book from this year, One Italian Summer. That one was also pretty good. Not my favorite. This year, however, is my contender for best book of the year. Like, this is my favorite book of the year. Babel by R.F. Kuang. Babel's amazing. I'm just going to say it's amazing. If you enjoy fantasy, if you're a fan of books that explore big topics such as colonization, you're going to really get into Babel. It explores some major topics while also having a very interesting magic system. So I can't recommend this one enough. I think this might end up a big winner overall this year for books in general. And yeah, would recommend. 5 out of 5. Not like the movies. Really cute second book in like the Waiting for Tom Hanks series. Super cute, super fun if you enjoy soft romances. I know it's interesting to jump from this to this, but that's how I roll. Again, one of my favorite series from this year, Blue Flag. I've already reviewed it. It's gorgeous. It's so well written. Jump in and read that one. You won't regret it. Daisy Darker was an advanced reader copy for this book and was not what I was expecting. I was thinking Alice Feeney, oh, we're going to deal with more solid thrillers. Instead, this is a bit of a ghost story, and it's pretty good. A River Enchanted, I love Rebecca Ross so far. I mean, it's just good, solid fantasy. And I liked it. This one had kind of traditional folk story kind of vibes. I don't know. I love this. I already reviewed the Other Worlds books, Depend on the Bean Counter. Love that. Alice in Borderland. I love this. Some other series I've already talked about. Legends and Lattes. This has been talked about literally everywhere. It's a cozy fantasy. Low stakes. High fantasy. Enjoyable. This is definitely a cozy read. If you like fantasy but want something more cozy than full-on action, pick up Legends and Lattes. It's really soft and sweet. I enjoyed it a lot. Also really liked How to Fail at Flirting, but I think I liked the other one more, ? But both of Denise Williams's books were enjoyable. These Twisted Bonds, book 2. I waited for this book. I was alright with it, and it was pretty typical, and that's all I'm going to say. Like, it was satisfying, but it wasn't, like, the best. For the Throne, again, sequel. Good to be back in that world. The writing here is really good. I did enjoy it. I haven't gotten to review, how do we say this, Frieren yet, but I really enjoyed this series. I will be reviewing this one because I like it. It's really good and not what I was expecting. So I look forward to talking about that one at some point. Some more that I have reviewed. Oh boy. Oh, also, loved Adult Assembly Required. Did not realize when I was reading it that this is a companion book to The Bookish Life of Nina Hill. So she appears in it, and I loved that book so much. If you're bookish, I think you'd really like The Bookish Life of Nina Hill. And this is Abby Waxman's companion book, Adult Assembly Required, and it was super fun. And again, has the emotional points. I just, yeah, like both of those books. I had a reread of Circe during this time period for my book club, and super good. I love this book. It's so well written. I'm just in awe of this one. There's some more here that I will be reviewing at some point, including Demon Slayer, and I Have a Secret. But we'll move on for now. Little Eve, another advanced reader copybook that I finished and was surprised by. Yeah, I liked this one, and I don't know what to say about it. It was so... I want to say so mental, but like in the way that it made me question things and wonder where we're going with it, because the way that the narrative is told, you flash between the current events and then what happened before. So I'm like, how's the twist going to come in? You know how those are done. Really enjoyable. Saving Sweets for After Hours. This review is coming. I really enjoyed this series. Another book that's been talked about everywhere this year, and deservedly so, is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. This is good. I would definitely recommend this one. The no-show, I saw it coming. Just say that. The big twist, I saw it coming. More stuff that I've talked about. I didn't get to talk about Forging Silver into Stars. This one surprised me because I remember anticipating the other release, the second book after, what was it, Defy the Night? So I thought at first when I ordered this that was going to be that one, but this is not. This is a kind of companion to the, oh boy, I'm going to forget the name. I don't remember what the series is, but A Curse So Dark and Lonely. This is the companion to that. And I love the narrator for here. I was, yeah, I like this one. If you enjoyed that series, this is a great companion to that, and unexpected. I now have the other one that I was thinking of, so I wasn't expecting like back-to-back Bridget Kemmerer, but yeah, back-to-back books. Really good. Something's Killing the Children is a good, creepy graphic novel that I would also recommend. Chef's Kiss is the opposite, whereas it's an adorable love story graphic novel. And so is Crumbs. Oh my gosh, I have to talk about Crumbs at some point because I loved that so much. One Less Gift was an advanced reader copy, and I really, really liked this one. Like, there were times I was frustrated by the main character. But this is great. I don't think that you have to read it around the holiday season. You can appreciate the story that's built in here at any point. It's really moving. This is an emotional story. I haven't gotten to talk about Unnamed Memory yet, but that's coming. Again, another favorite. Shady Hollow and Cold Clay are this really cool cozy mystery series that the characters in it are all woodland animals. So it's all creatures. So for me, who grew up being a fan of like Disney movies like Robin Hood and whatever with talking characters, animal characters, this is a good choice. You can get that whole imagination there. And then Echo by Thomas Oldhovelt. I don't know if I'm going to say that right. He's a Dutch author. The opening of this book, I'll only talk about the opening. The opening of this book creeped me right out. I was like, I remember I was getting ready for bed and I was listening to the audio and I was like spooked to go from my bathroom after brushing my teeth into my bedroom because I was so creeped out. But Yeah, had a great opening. And the rest of the book was pretty good too, but great opening. His book Hex is one of my all-time favorite horror stories. Like, I love Hex so much. This is a cute one I haven't talked about yet. A daily report about my witch senpai. Very cute. So there's more I definitely want to talk about that I haven't gotten to yet. But even like regular book wise, I've read a lot of winners, and sometimes I move on to so many so fast that I don't take that time to review my full fiction books. But a lot of what I read this year has been really, really good. Ocean's Echo. I read the companion. It's like the same world. What was it? Winter's Orbit, I think. I hope I'm getting that right. But I read that one, I think, last year and fell in love with it. And so I read the arc of this one, which now may be out. I can't remember. But this is another one where I love the author's writing and the slow burn relationships that they build. So this is just... that was a winner for me. Once There Were Wolves was actually a really engaging story that I can't get too much into, but was really good and would recommend. Same with Vita Nostra. That was such a strange, crazy world, but I really, really liked it. And yeah, then we're ending with Love is an Illusion, and I'm not going to get into the next ones because they're coming for the final, oh my gosh, the final quarterly review, which won't be out until January, but yes, oh my goodness, I read some good books in this quarter, and definitely, if there's ever any you want me to talk about or review, let me know, and I will definitely look into that. I'll try my best to review them. And it doesn't matter whether it's a full novel or graphic novel or light novel. Just let me know what you'd like me to review. I'll talk about it. Even if it's been a while since I read it, I can probably pick up and talk about it. I can't remember what these two were. Oh, strangely enough, the covers didn't come up for The Dark History of the Reincarnated Villainess, Volumes 4 and 5. Strange. But I've talked about that series, so that's fine. Yeah, there you go. That's what I've read this quarter. And I talked about the books I would highly recommend from the list of books that I've read this quarter. So good. We've had a lot of good releases, I think. As someone that's been reading the advanced reader copies, this is one of those years where I have felt compelled to read a lot of the advanced reader copies. Like, I was so excited to get them. And most of them lived up to my expectations. So... yeah, if I've pointed them out, it's probably something I would recommend giving a try. Of course, also base that on your interest. Don't just read it because I'm saying to, although I have some pretty good taste, I'm just saying. Go ahead and if you see anything you like, give it a try. If you want to know more about my thoughts on it, let me know in the comments and I will try to do a review on it because, yeah, there's been a lot of good stuff. I should have talked about Little Eyes, too, because this one... was creepy. It was like having little, I don't know, I kind of thought of them like little Furby type animals, although I think they actually would look like real animals, but like I could just imagine it being like phase 2 of the Furby, but like there was people on the other side of it. So like you would interact with this computerized animal, but what you were actually reacting to was somebody watching you on their device. So like its eyes and stuff were a camera and it was somebody on the other end communicating with you. Like even if you couldn't understand the language of this little toy that you have, it's a person. It's a person watching you. And some of the stuff that they would watch or like the weird parasocial relationship that the person on the other end would get with those people, I don't know. It was interesting. I liked the social commentary of that book and would recommend that one as well. But again, I feel like I finished a lot of good books this quarter. I didn't even get to talk about the new Junji Ito books. Like this one here is, what was it called? Black Paradox. I like this one because this one told like, You know how a lot of the Junji Ito ones have been more just the short story kind of works? This one was an episodic full story. So even though you'd get like sort of a full episode in the one, it tied directly to the next story and so on. So yeah, this was interesting. I don't think I talked about it. Like, I sure hope I didn't, and just like going back to it, but yeah. This was a good one. It was creepy. There's kind of gruesome stuff in there, but it's Junji Ito, so like if you read Junji Ito, you know what to expect. So I'm gonna leave it at that, and I'll pass this on to my other self to conclude the video. So that was my quarterly review. I am still chugging along on reading, and we'll keep continuing to review light novels and manga and maybe the occasional book as well. I've definitely read a lot of good books, but I haven't been reviewing them as much lately. I just haven't felt as, I guess, inspired by them. There is the one, Babel, that I wish I had gotten to talk about. Like, I should have just done it, but then I felt like it had passed, and I just didn't take the initiative to do it. But I read the arc of that book. I loved it very much, and I knew right away that I had to buy it. And so I did, and I'm so glad I did, and that I could support the author further. Also makes me want to go back and finish The Poppy War by Rebecca Kwong, because I did not finish that series yet. I read the first one and I really liked it, and I'm like, okay, this is one I want to finish. But then I didn't, so I really want to go back and finish that series, because Babel just highlighted how good of a writer she is. So maybe in the future I'll talk about the series more, and maybe R.F. Kwong more. So that's it for this video. Until next time, bye.